From Flava TV, this is Start to Finish, a show for entrepreneurs and change makers and seeing what they do on a daily basis. My name is Aaron Mashano. I'm the host for the show. And on today's program, we have the very famous and very powerful Sharon SIWALE Fumbeshi, who is actually the founder of Little James Preschool and Primary School. Sharon, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm just shocked. I'm surprised. How?
Yeah.
How am I surprised? How am I famous?
How are you famous? Well, it's actually a very interesting story, and that's maybe partly why I wanted to have you on this show.
Okay, thank you.
We found that a lot of times, a lot of entrepreneurs maybe do very good marketing, but I still feel the best form of marketing is word of mouth.
Okay.
And there have been some really exciting people who have got kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk to them about what schools do they go to or what schools have you heard are good, Little Gems always kept popping up every now and again. So in my mind, I was like, I wonder what type of entrepreneur is behind that show, behind that project. And then obviously when I heard it was a female entrepreneur, that got me very, very excited.
Right.
Yeah. So I really got excited to have you on the show. So maybe just to hear a little bit more about Little Gems. Where did you come up with that name, and how did it all start for you?
It's quite a long story, but I'll cut it short. Little James School started when I came back from SA. I used to live in SA. So when I looked at within the area, there was no school that really impressed me where I would take my son at that time. So I had to enroll him at another school. So an idea came for me to start a school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say in the area, which area are you talking about? Ganaton. Okay, in Kitwe.
Yeah.
That's really good. So when you thought of starting this school, did you have a teaching background? Because I know from the history I've studied, you had journalism background.
Yeah.
So how does a journalist end up in education space?
Okay, so while in SA, I used to volunteer at my son's school. So I would go there, I would go there just to volunteer. So I thought that when I get back home, I would, start something. Yeah, start a school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're volunteering in South Africa for your kids' school. And was that like you fell into the teaching part of it? Was it
Yes,
working
I
with
did.
children?
Yes, I did. Yeah, just being with the kids and just seeing how, the teachers were interacting with the kids and the end product. Yeah, that really, arose the interest.
I like that. So what, in the early days, I mean, this is quite an impressive school, to be honest. I sort of drove in and saw a couple of plots before we got to your main house. So you told me a little bit about that story. How was it in terms of like capital? Or you picked this land, I think you said 2012. So what was that kind of journey leading up to, after the SA experience, but leading up to saying, right, we're going to do this with this land? ABCD, maybe just take us through that.
Yeah. So when we came here, there was nothing. It was just we started from ground level up to where it is. So we started with 4 learners. Yeah, and that was in 2016. We only had about 4 learners, and I think within a year we had about 20 to 30 learners.
Wow.
Yeah, and now we are standing at 312 learners.
312. And so that's in a space of what, 6 years?
6 years, yeah.
That's remarkable. Would you say that's the biggest amount of students in Ganaton in terms of a school, a primary preschool?
Little James School, I think in Ganaton, I'm not trying to brag or blow my own trumpet. I think it's a leading school. It is a leading school. I'm confident to say that it's a leading school in Ganaton. Yeah.
Wow. No, that's really good. So in terms of like getting started, a lot of business people come to us. I do the business coaching and things like that. But a lot of people assume you need capital, you need contacts, you need. Maybe take us through a couple of those steps. Were these factors to your success, or were you one of those people who inherited billions of dollars so that you could just start? What was it like in the beginning for you?
Yes, I did inherit.
I knew it.
Why did you say so?
No, just kidding. I didn't know.
Yeah, no. I inherited part of my father's estate, so we had to sell off my father's estate with my siblings. So from that, money, I had to start Little James School. So yes, I had something from somewhere. Yeah, I just didn't start from zero, so I didn't brag about that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still quite a sizable plot. I'm in construction, and I think you mentioned your partner is in civil engineer.
Yeah.
But it's looking like there's still this need, because it's not necessarily sometimes what capital you start with, but what you do with that capital.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so for you guys, what were the kind of steps you took to get your school to become? I think you started with one building, and then you said you moved to from a daycare to a school. I mean, what have been the steps to lead you to where you are today?
When starting, we started with one building which has about 8 classes. So that's where we started from. But we started with one class where the four learners were, and as it started growing, the other classes started, filling up. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So how many classes do you have now?
We have about 12. Yeah, 12 classes.
With 2 more coming.
Yeah, we're from baby class to grade 7.
Wow.
We had to add a grade 7 class because we're supposed to be at this stage. We're only supposed to have grade 6.
Okay.
But there was that demand, so we had to add another class.
Okay.
Yeah, just to accommodate the grade 7s.
Wow.
So we're having our first grade 7s this year. Yeah.
Well,
So
how do you feel
exciting.
about that? Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
That's quite interesting because I think about Zambia and the high value we put on education. So have there been any, I don't know, maybe in your history of 6 years, general feedback or fears or concerns that you've had? Because it's quite a high pressure to be responsible for other people's children.
Yeah.
I know how fussy I am just with my own child,
Yeah.
let alone handing them all to you. So have there been any sort of challenges leading to success in your journey?
A school, a private school, to start with is a business, just like any other business. So we get both negative and positive feedback. Yeah, sometimes we don't deliver as expected, but we try our best. Yeah, to put in whatever it is so that the business can still be a leading education institution. Yeah, we've had both negative and positive feedback.
Okay.
And the negatives just, push us to be the best school in our area. Yeah.
So what sort of negative feedback? Just curious about that. Have you experienced in Zambia on average that you think most parents tend to complain about? So if someone was listening in or trying to start an education business, what are the things that knock other people off that maybe didn't knock you off, as you said, as you used it as a platform for you to improve?
I think to start with, I think as a business person, one thing I've learned is that you can put in your all, but at the end of the day, the customer's the final say. Okay, so there are times when we feel like we've put in our all. Just to mention, our teachers are well trained and they are all certified with a TCZ. Yeah, but they're just humans at the end of the day. So you find that at times probably a lesson wasn't delivered well. A parent would complain. And sometimes there's these accidents that happen at the school, parents would complain, put in this and that, so that you avoid such things and all that, So yeah, I think that those are some of the, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Just a few complaints that we've, so far received.
So why do you think a lot of people don't pursue a business in education?
Why they don't pursue? I don't know. I think people have different reasons for not doing it, but for me it's a passion. I have a passion for education. I like it. I like to see young learners inculcating knowledge in young learners. For me it's just a passion. So the other reasons that other people have, I wouldn't speak for other people. So that would be unfair.
But I like what you said, it's still a business at the end of the day. So how do you then balance your passion with the aspect of needing to make money? How do you find that relationship?
It's very easy. It's very easy because if you're an entrepreneur, first of all, you should know that things won't be rosy. Things will get tough. Sometimes things will get good. But then for me, I think yes, I'm a business person, but for me, I think at the end of the day, because of the passion, my passion overrides. It overrides the money aspects and all that. Yeah. So for me, I'm so passionate about education. So for me, it's about seeing these young minds, being fed with the right knowledge. I think that for me, that fully, my heart just gets full when I see that we are delivering in terms of education, the education needs. I think for me, when the money comes, well and good. But for now, it's a passion. I want to see young learners getting the best, education and, and just knowledge. Yeah.
So would it be right to say, at least in your experience, that you think passion is more important as a driving force to sustainable business, or would you say it's just all about the hard cash and the money?
If you're going into business for the money, you're going to be frustrated. You need to be passionate about what you're doing, and if things are not going well, you soldier on, because there's that drive that's in you. You understand?
Yeah.
So it has to be about passion. We don't look at. I think if you focus so much on money, I think you wouldn't get where you want to be. But if you're passionate, no matter the tides, you sail on.
Yeah. So what do you think you'd do differently now that you've got 6 years experience? You've seen what's working and not working. What would you do differently now if you're looking back in your career as in this business?
What I would do differently now, everything has been a lesson. It has been a lesson that I would even pass on to somebody else, teach somebody how to, run a business and stuff. I don't think I would do anything differently. Every struggle that I've gone through, every success has been a lesson. So I don't think I would do things differently. Okay.
So I think with me, at least in my experience, I try, and I think you've been to some of our boot camps where we talk about the struggle for the success, and almost like the two work together. And I think too often we see on social media, people are promoting the flashy lifestyle, the success, the money, but they don't see this is how difficult it was on the other side. And for me, when I go into these tough times, I go to certain people like my coaches. I've got people in my life that I lean on guidance, particularly in these mistake times or tough times. So do you have any guidance, or do you have people in your life that guide you or support you? And if so, who are they, and why do you go there for that?
Of course I do. And I think the greatest support system is my husband. My husband has been an entrepreneur for a long time. So I think he's one of the people that I'll go to, for mentorship and just for that push. And also I have people in the industry, in the education sector, that I go to, schools that have been thriving, schools that are successful. I go there and, just to get that motivation and just to get that encouragement. So I do have people I go to and mentors.
So how important do you think they are? Like your husband and these people?
But they're very cardinal in my journey as an entrepreneur, very cardinal, and I really appreciate what they do, and the advice they give me, the push that they give me. I think they're important, and I think I wouldn't be here without them. No,
that's very important. Just a couple last questions here. What would you say are your next 3 to 5 moves? Like, think about it. Well, halfway through the year, it's 2022 now as we record this. Next year, 3 years from now, where do you see yourself in your school?
Okay, so like for this year we are more about infrastructure development. I think because of COVID, a lot of things were put on hold. So I want to build more classroom blocks because there's so much demand within the area. So I want to put up more infrastructure. Then probably in 3 to 5 years, I want to expand to another area.
Okay.
Not just in Ghanaton. I'm busy looking for land so we can expand.
Okay. Wow. Woman on a mission. I like that. And just a couple of other questions here. Like, what advice would you maybe give your younger self? Now that you know what you know, and I think we had this conversation before the show started. But what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self. Okay, my younger self was I didn't have so much faith, and I used to fear. But now, after this journey, I think I would tell my younger self to always believe in my dreams, go for my dreams, be patient, that things just don't happen overnight. You need to put in the work, and also just remain focused.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Fumbeshi. And maybe just before we go, would you mind showing us around your space so people can get a feel of your business and the great value you're bringing to particularly this community here? And then we can wrap up from there. Would that be okay?
No problem. Let's go.
All right.
I'm excited.
Love it. Let's do it. We'll be right back just after this. So yeah, thanks for showing us around. And since you said you had a passion for children, tell us a bit more about your children.
So I have 4 children, and in every interview, I always say this: I have 2 biological children and 2 bonus children. By bonus children, I mean my nephew and my niece. Yeah.
What are they doing? Are they coming to the same school, or
My daughter.
maybe it's too close that they have to go far away?
My daughter is she's the administrator here.
Yeah.
She does the administrative work.
Wow.
And my younger son is here in grade 4. Then because we started at school in 2016, my other children were a bit older. So my other son is at Lechwe. Then my other older son is at CBU. He's doing electrical engineering.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that must mean they're a lot older. How is that possible biologically? You look
No,
quite
my
young.
biological son is in you'll be in Form 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they're opening in September.
Wow.
He'll be in Form 4.
Wow.
Then my other son, my bonus son, he's at CBU.
Wow. Oh, you must be proud. I guess
Yes,
education
very proud,
is
very proud.
right
And
in
he
the
had
blood.
6 points,
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
proud of him.
So we can give him a job when he's done.
You should. You
I
should.
will.
Yeah.
I will. No, thank you for showing us around, and definitely looking forward to even I personally coming and visiting you on a day-to-day, seeing how it runs on the day.
Yeah.
And
That'll be great.
yeah, so Miss Sharon, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
so humble. Thank you so much.
No,
Yeah.
You're welcome. Cheers. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had an extraordinary tour of the Little Gem Preschool and Primary School right here in Kitwe, Garnerton. I really hope you stay tuned in the show, and see you next time.